in the two or four pairs will terminate there. There'll be a single connection coming out of that network interface unit that will supply the whole entire circuit to that switch. In this case, it would be a single cable probably coming out of the interface unit into your existing switch in this building. And then the same thing, of course, on the other end. So there would be a lot of pairs that wouldn't really be used anymore. We would leave them in place because it doesn't make sense to take them out.
Right.
But it would be, the only additional thing you would see is this small unit on the wall. But there'd be a whole lot less wire connections between the wall and your switch.
Okay, well,
Sam's gonna have some questions too.
Yes, sir.
As far as I know, there's no maintenance agreement on this phone system in this building.
That is correct. The previous administration had chosen not to place maintenance coverage on the switch.
What is the benefit if we do?
If you were to add maintenance, what they call it maintenance, although I personally find it as a misnomer. What it is an extended warranty.
right.
And I didn't bring those figures with me. But I have them pretty closely available, I'd say. And I can provide those back to you either. I'll plan to send through Kim as soon as I have that. And what it would do is it does just what we said. Extends the warranty on the switch so that if the switch fails, it's a parts and labor warranty. It does not cover something like a lightning strike, act of God, fire, flood, something that would typically be carried, covered under your insurance.
Sure.
But if it just breaks, fails, stops working, we come fix it, no charge. And it can be billed either once a year or monthly.
What about
Now,
on the phone?
just to let you know, the sheriff's department has placed maintenance on their switch. When we made a minor upgrade a couple of years ago, and they placed maintenance on it. I think it's $260 a month or something like that.
Okay. Does that cover phones? I know the phones.
We can either cover phones or not cover phones, your choice.
Okay. If the
Of
phone
course,
goes
it's more
out, we're
expensive if you do cover phones.
Right.
Talking $500 roughly a piece
You mean to buy a phone?
to purchase a phone, yeah.
Not many of them are that expensive, although some are. $200, $275 is probably, again, I'm running from memory here, rough numbers.
Okay.
Probably $200, $275 a phone, yeah.
Okay.
Especially with labor to
Right.
install it.
Now, that particular, is it Nortel?
Yeah, Nortel system.
Okay. Do they even exist anymore?
In brand name only.
That's what I thought.
Nortel has gone bankrupt, and their assets, including the technology and intellectual property, were purchased by a company called Avaya. We support both product lines, and that's actually something one of my engineers mentioned to me this morning when we were going over this plan, is the possibility of taking your Nortel, leave your phones, because Nortel has a software release forthcoming that will support most, if not all, of your existing phones, and in the process replace your Nortel switch with an Avaya switch. I think the promised support by Avaya is through 2017, which is a few years ahead, but we all look ahead. So if you choose to make the upgrade, probably would be worthwhile to look at going to Avaya and look at putting the switch under maintenance on a going forward basis.
A question I have, getting the bill down to the approximate $8,000 a month. Every one of these bills has a national access fee that's ranging like $299, $305
Per line?
per line. Are you taking those charges away? What is the national
They
access fee?
they drop significantly. I think you pay national access fee on 10 times the $299, let's just say that.
Okay.
National access fee is a fee that is authorized by the FCC, Federal Communications Commission, for long-distance carriers to charge on the local bill for access to the long-distance network. Both the national access fee goes with long distance, and there's a subscriber line charge that also drops. Instead of paying it on all your lines, you pay it on about 10 of them. So
Okay.
I mean, that's a
Yeah,
the
we're paying
savings,
on
just like
every
all those,
line.
it's very significant. That's how part of these savings accrue, that there's such a huge difference.
Okay, a couple other questions. 911 is being billed to itself for usage, is that normal?
When you say to itself for you,
From what I look at on the bill, 911 surcharge that everyone pays for on their phone bill, the 911 building is getting charged that charge.
on their administrative lines,
Okay,
and yes, that's normal.
okay,
Because it's an administrative phone line, not a 911 circuit.
okay,
So it's just like, you treat it just like any other business phone line.
okay. My last question, we are paying for a Centrex line at the highway shed, and we cannot internally, like we do the Justice Center or the Sheriff's Department, we cannot transfer calls out there, we actually have to dial them. Is the Centrex line cheaper than a regular phone line, or why are we paying for that service when we actually cannot transfer calls or intercom people there?
Well, you're paying for a Centrex line there for just that reason. They're not connected to your switch. So they need a phone line of their own, and that's the 7-digit number you're able to dial. Now, how far is that building from here?
2 miles, 3 miles?
I'd have to have a technical and engineering team review it. We have a service called an off-premise extension where that could be tied back to the switch here. I don't know at that distance, because it does have some distance limitations. Let me write down.
I don't know
The
that
name
it's
of the
necessary, but I know we're
organization and
paying
name.
for it.
Well, and I understand why it's necessary, and I interpret what you're asking for is, can I make that 4-digit dialing from here and be able to transfer? And then the other thing is take that cost, and it goes in mostly away to go into the price of the circuit. What's the department?
It's the highway shed, and I don't know what they're,
Do you know how it's, the name it's billed under or a phone number?
they get several,
Oh, several bills?
they get at least 2.
We need a phone number.
Lincoln County Highway Department, HWY,
LEH.
and then they
Now,
have
do you
one,
see the account number on top of that bill? That's what really helped me the most. Top right corner.
403-102-892,
Okay?
and 301-978-438.
And how many lines or centric circuits or whatever are built on each of those, you think?
I remember seeing one,
One on each?
I believe so.
Now, is it really all the same department? I mean, you're looking at the bills, is it, one's Lincoln County Highway Department, what's the other one?
It's all the same building.
It's the same building, it's really the same business.
Yes.
Yeah,
No reason you know of why it would be billed separate.
no, like the Centrex line, the Centrex analog 325 at 2349.
Mhm.
And on the other bill, it's the same. So we're paying the Centrex, the 2349 on each bill.
Okay.
Okay, Ike, what we're gonna need to see is a written proposal of everything that you're gonna provide for us. We have to look at it like any business would,
Sure.
with your bottom line cost per month based on the information provided to us. We'd like to see a detailed outline of all the credit that's due back to us from the 911 center. And also, as a sign of good faith, we'd like to see you comp us 2 phones. And what's an estimated time you could have that proposal for us?
Would next week be acceptable?
That's fine. That's fine.
I have one more question.
Yep.
If they would change the switches downstairs, would there be a downtime on each phone line, or,
There would be some downtime.
okay?
Of course, we would plan and work with the county to keep that minimal. We probably could schedule some, if not all of it, is after hours or before hours.
Okay,
But there would probably be some disruption.
Okay.
It would be pretty minimal, unless something would.
Sure, if we needed after hours, Sam and I could stay here.
yeah.
We can get somebody in the building, that's good.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
Anything else, guys? Very good.
All right, great.
Thank you, Ike.
Thank you. The other thing here is I got more out.
Look forward to hearing from you, Ike.
Likewise. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank
Do we want to go ahead and put Ike on the agenda for next Tuesday at some
Next
point?
Tuesday, 10 o'clock?
Same
If
time,
you,
great for me.
if you can, think you can have it all put together by
Yeah.
then?
I'll be in touch with you if anything's.
Let us know anything you need from us.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Again, I will talk to Betty today and try to identify who would be working with you and go from there.
All right.
Here's my email.